The team topping the Premier League table, that is Arsenal, is going to host the team at the bottom of the table known as Southampton in the Premier League match day 32 that's going to be hosted or orchestrated at the Emirates in London. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, Rokani David is my name, and we are here to bring you a little bit of what we think the game of Arsenal versus Southampton is going to be like, because this is what we do each and every time the game is going to happen tomorrow or today. I was supposed to do this story like yesterday, but I happened to really sleep a lot, and I said it's going to be the first story kickstarting us our day. My Muslim friends, I think either tomorrow or Saturday it's going to be Eid, so Eid Mubarak in advance, because an announcement can be made today evening or on Friday evening. My Christian friends, how are you and how is your day? And I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. That's it. So let's set this rolling on record. This is one of those teams that Arsenal has failed to beat this season. The first game they played away at St. Mary's Stadium, that game ended 1-1, and it ended in no one's favor. In other words, it ended in a stalemate, and Arsenal found themselves getting very many chances. Gabriel Jesus missing out to 2 or 3 chances in that game. Now, as it stands, Southampton is seated in the bottom of the table. That's it. And they're really looking ugly. Arsenal are really one of those teams that is really pushing in through to find themselves in a position of really extending their lead to 7 points. If they beat Southampton, they'll be 7 points ahead of Man City, and Man City would have played 2 games less than Arsenal, because even Man City over the weekend, they are not going to play in the Premier League. They're going to be playing into what we call the FA Cup semi-final against Sheffield Wednesday, and we anticipate the best to come from Arsenal to see either they really win this game of football. Now, when you look at Southampton, they've been really on a very bad form this season, and their games, some of their games they've gone ahead to play. Southampton, I'm talking about you. We look at Southampton. Their last game, they hosted Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace beat them by 2-0. They hosted Man City. Man City beat them by 4-0, 4-1. Then West Ham beat them away in London, 1-0. They drew with Tottenham 3-3, and they lost to Brentford 2-0. Drew with Manchester United 0-0. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Southampton don't have a win in their last 6 games. You know, they've only afforded 2 draws. One against Manchester United, and it happened that way because United had a red card. If at all United had not got a red card of Casemiro, they wouldn't have gone ahead to survive, because even when United had one player less, they really gave them a game, and they had chances to kill off the game. They drew with Tottenham Hotspur at home 3-3, and I think this is one of those games that Arsenal should come in and really kill off. You know, kill it off not only with getting 3 points, but with lots of goals in there for you. Why? When you look at Arsenal, they're having a goal difference of 43, and Man City is having a goal difference of 50. And remember, Arsenal have gone ahead to play one more game than City, meaning that if City play their game in hand and score like 3 goals, they can extend the goal difference to 10. So Arsenal should use such games at Emirates to score very many goals, because we might find ourselves giving the trophy on a goal difference, something that I believe it's going to be hard for us to see this season, because I see the game of Arsenal and Man City being the decider on who's really going to go ahead and really win the trophy. So Arsenal need to win this game of football, because on Wednesday they are playing Man City. So they need to go there with a 7-point lead. If at all they beat Man City, it will go to 10. They draw with Man City, it remains 7. Now, let's go to the players that are really unavailable. You know, Elneny is out until the end of the season. Tomiyasu is out until the end of the season. Williams Saliba will be too early for this fixture, unless otherwise Mikel Arteta in the press conference today confirms to us that he has gone ahead to pass the late fitness test to play against Southampton. But he might feature in the game of City, where I think Arsenal requires him mostly. Not it. Now, Zinchenko is back and is expected to take part into this beautiful game of football. I think you watched my story that I did yesterday about Zinchenko returning back to Arsenal training. Now, Southampton. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is not eligible to take part into this encounter because he's on loan from Arsenal. Joan Larios, Valentino, Orisic, and Mohamed Salisu remain unavailable because of injury. Then Che Adams is expected to return, and his return will see the likes of Theo Walcott go on the bench, and Musa Adepono is expected to start. But the players don't expect to see are Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Joan Loris, Valentino, Orisic, and Mohamed Salisu. Those are totally out. Those are totally out of this game of football. And Arsenal has never lost a game against Southampton in the last 23 encounters. I'm coming back with those facts very, very close right about now as we really get ready, as we really get ourselves ready into the mix to bring you those facts before we really unleash what we call the predicted starting 11. Now let's go into the predicted starting 11 of this game of Arsenal versus Southampton. Then those facts will be thrown in later as you guys desire them. By the way, one thing I had forgotten is Arsenal's previous 2 fixtures have ended in a stalemate. That means in the last 4 games, Arsenal have gone ahead to lose. They've gone ahead to drop 3. They've gone ahead to lose 4 points. So they need to find themselves back to winning ways, and this is the game. And I think it comes in a very perfect time. Playing on Friday, kill off the game, rest until Wednesday, and play Man City that is going to play against Sheffield Wednesday over the weekend. Now, the system of Arsenal is known 4-3-3, 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 forwards. That's what Arsenal goes ahead and really uses game in, game out. Arteta just loves that system. At the start of the season, he went in for a 4-2-3-1, but he's now tied to a 4-3-3. In goal, Aaron Ramsdale, physically fit, expected to start in goal and retain his position. He's one of those players that you wouldn't like to miss out in your goal when you're going to play a game like this at Emirates. And I think Arsenal really have an edge because they're going to be at Emirates. The fans are going to be rallying against the bowlers of Arsenal. So this is a must-win for Arsenal. This is a game they're supposed to win if at all you want to win the trophy. As I told fans of Arsenal in the match preview of West Ham that if you are to win the trophy, you are not supposed to lose a game against West Ham. But a draw against Liverpool is forgivable because at least very many teams have gone there and they failed to really get points there because the atmosphere there is hostile. But away at West Ham, two goals in the first half, and you lose and you draw, very bad. Aaron Ramsdale doing a very pivotal part into that Arsenal side. If Arsenal is win the trophy, the saves of Aaron Ramsdale against Bournemouth and against Liverpool will always be remembered. Now, the right back. Arsenal have only one option, and that is Ben White. Ben White is the only available option as far as this team of Arsenal is concerned, and I think is going to be played onto the right back of this Arsenal starting 11. That is probable. Left back, I think Zinchenko is going to take his nod again, but I won't be surprised if at all KNTN starts to play and then Zinchenko comes in through to play the last 30 minutes of the game because he's just returning from injury and the manager might not want to risk him because he knows how pivotal Zinchenko is going to be when Arsenal is playing Man City away at Etihad Stadium on Wednesday. After that, the right side of the central defense, I think Saliba is not available in this game, and that brings Rob Holding into the mix alongside Gabriel Magalhaes, who is really doing wonders for Arsenal. So that is my back 5 of Arsenal. Aaron Ramsdale in goal, Ben White right back, Zinchenko left back, then Magalhaes and Rob Holding into the central defense partnership. Now, let's go to the central defense midfield of Arsenal. If I were Mikel Arteta, I would have gone ahead to make the change and put Jorginho ahead of Partey. But I know how hesitant Mikel Arteta is on changing his team. I think this man, however petulant he was in the game of West Ham, he's going to grant him a start again. But if I told Mikel Arteta, I would have benched Thomas Partey. So Thomas Partey is going to be played as a central defensive midfielder for Arsenal, but he needs to act better. You know, if he gives out that ball easily as he did in the game of West Ham, then Southampton will punish them, you know. And he should find himself not really making fouls at the edge of the Tina's box area, because they're having Ward-Prowse, one of the best set piece specialists in the league. You know, each and every time you say set piece near your area, it's like a penalty for him. So it has a 50 chance of going in and a 50% chance of not going in. So Thomas Partey needs to be observant, not to do what he did to force Declan Rice into that press that saw him win that ball and obviously release Paqueta, and the penalty was given and scored by Benrahma, and so Arsenal really draw 2-2 away at West Ham. Then the others, it's Martin Odegaard. For him, it's a constant. He should start, according to me. Then Mikel Arteta is going to bring in Granit Xhaka again. I know if I'm Mikel Arteta, Granit Xhaka deserves to be benched this time round. If I told him Mikel Arteta would have played Jorginho, Odegaard, and either Emile Smith-Rowe or Fabio Vieira. That's it. Those are the players I would have played in the midfield, but I think he's going to stay with his midfield 3 as it has been playing, because you need to make changes. If you don't make changes, these players won't really wake up each and every time they're playing the game of football, because they know they are starters. That's the problem. So I think Arteta needs to address that issue of these players knowing that they already have their position in the starting 11s of Arsenal. That's it. Now, right forward, obviously I think it's going to be Bukayo Saka. You know, that boy needs to really lift up himself. Having missed up a penalty against West Ham, this is the perfect game to fire himself back to the form he has been ever since this season started. The previous 3 games of Arsenal against West Ham, Liverpool and Leeds, he has been looking bad. That is Bukayo Saka, meaning that he needs to rise himself to the occasion to give the best of himself in this game. It comes in a very perfect moment that he can find himself back to winning ways. That is Bukayo Saka, and I expect him to really put up a public apology that is not written on Instagram but orchestrated on the field of play. That is Bukayo Saka. Left forward, I know it's going to be Martinelli again. I know he's back to the form of his life, scoring against Liverpool, putting on an assist, assisting against Leeds. That saw Ben White score another goal, and again in the game of West Ham, he was responsible for that goal that Martin Odegaard scored when he went in for a cross on the far post, and Martin Odegaard met it and really tapped it into the back of the net to make it 2-0 for Arsenal in the game of West Ham. So I think Martinelli is undroppable for the meantime, and is that kind of player that you'll always want to keep on the field of play, game in, game out. Who is leading the line? Is it Leandro Trossard or Jesus? I think it's none other than Jesus. You know, this man is firing all cylinders. In his previous 3 games, he has 4 goals. A brace against Leeds, 1 against Liverpool, and 1 against West Ham. So he's really in a form of his life, because he's now having 9 Premier League goals. By the time he got an injury, he had 8. This time he has 9 with 6 assists, meaning that he's having 15 goal involvements within the season. With 7 games to play, I really fancy him to go ahead and really put in more stats that are really so much helpful to the side of Arsenal. So that is my prediction starting 11 of Arsenal, and I think you have your additions. And subtractions, so I'm calling for them into the comment section below. Who do you think should start and who do you think shouldn't start into this starting 11? Now, let me throw into some facts to you before I really go out and really call it a day for this video. 1, Arsenal have never lost in 23 Premier League home games against Southampton. 16 wins, 7 draws, the most one side has hosted another without ever losing in the competition. That is Arsenal for you. Then Southampton are one of the sides Arsenal have failed to beat in the Premier League this season. Also Newcastle and Man City, following a 1-1 draw at St. Mary's Stadium in October. The last time Saints avoided defeat in both Premier League meetings with the Gunners was in 2015-2016. Can they do it again? I doubt Arsenal is going to beat them tomorrow. Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 27 home games against Southampton. 19 wins and 8 draws in their league history. Only against Fulham, current run of 30, have they had a longer unbeaten run. Then, this is the first Premier League meeting when Arsenal and Southampton play on Friday, with the Gunners defeating Southampton on each of the other 6 days of the week in the competition. They've never won a Premier League match against an opponent on all 7 days of the week. That is it. Lastly, the side bottom of the table has just won 4 of their 38 Premier League meetings with the league leaders. You know, that's what they're telling you, that when Southampton is facing the league leaders in their history, they've gone ahead to draw 6 and lost 28. You know, losing 4 of their 15 such games away from home with 1 draw. So away from home, they're looking horrible. Arsenal haven't faced the bottom place side while top themselves since December 1958. A 2-1 home defeat to Aston Villa. That is it. So that is what we are having for you coming in here from the Rokani Media Football Studios. And my prediction, 4-0 Arsenal. 4-0 Arsenal. You know, it is really going to be brave to make such a call for Arsenal. But one thing Arsenal has gone ahead to show us that they can really do, scoring goals. Arsenal can score goals. One thing Arsenal failed to do, keep it tight at the back. That's it. But at Emirates, I fancy Arsenal to keep a clean sheet this time around, because they've taken a long without keeping a clean sheet. And I think that's why Sol Campbell was brought at Alan Conley yesterday to address those issues of Arsenal keeping a clean sheet. So guys, my prediction, 4-0 for Arsenal. And I think Jesus might find himself scoring a brace again. You know, he's really up and running, and he's really having the best of his time at Arsenal. So guys, your reactions are welcome in the comment section below of Arsenal versus Southampton. What do you think about this encounter that's going to be played tomorrow at the Emirates? And we'll be live with what we call the match day live. That comes 1 hour to the game. Then after the game, the match reaction will come in. Throughout the match reaction, we give you what we call how it happened. After how it happened, we straight ahead go into the player ratings and rating the players, plus the manager and the referee according to how the game would have really gone at Emirates. But I see an Arsenal win written all over this result, though Arsenal fans might be really calling in for a draw or a win of a lesser score. But I think Arsenal needs to come out and really respond very, very well. Rokani David remains my name. This is Rokani Media Football. That's the YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe, because we want to hit 14,000 subscribers. We congratulate everyone for helping us reach 13,000 subscribers, and now we are onto the journey of hitting 14,000 subscribers. Guys, a sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim friends, Ramadan Kareem. Eid is around the corner. We expect an announcement today evening or on Saturday. Sorry, I think the announcement should be made today, whether it is Friday or Saturday. Bye-bye.